Okay, so we are rolling on my LG V20, my new LG V20, and that's great. Of course, it has its issues, but that's the way I'm going to go back to the LG V20. I need to order the screen for the Shift 6MQ that I bought less than a year ago. Well, I bought it, I guess, a year ago, but then of course it took a lot of time before they actually sent them out, and it's just so I'm going to look for things back to the LG V20, and one of the weaknesses is and of course we have Jerry Rigs Everything, I think he's called. Jerry Rigs Everything. And he also rigged the LG V20, tested it out to see what it could do, and in regards to how much that, in regards to scratching and all that. And he also found out that, just a little scratch in regards to the camera just made it, the camera on the rear side, on the back side, it just exploded. It's absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Maybe I can't do this while doing a video because it's probably going to make a lot of noise, and that's probably going to go in the speaker. But I was thinking of doing some dishwashing while speaking. That mobile, the LG V20, would have been nice if I could just put it up some way, but I don't really have. I should have fixed something where the mobile could just stand. Of course, the LG V20 can't resist water. That's another of these things. I don't really know totally what I guess, when they began to promote this nonsense, I'd rather have the whole mobile business just went into madness pretty much. It's really sad. But anyway, so Jerry rigged the LG V20 and found some of the weaknesses of the mobile and all that. Very nice. But yeah, scratch it on pretty easily. And although my camera glass pretty much survived, but of course I was taking care of it, and you could buy some protection and all that further for it, and actually, if you didn't take the plastic, there was a plastic thing. Actually, I don't think that was actually a plastic thing. I don't think so. I'm not sure. If the plastic is on, I'm absolutely just going to let it stick there. There was this plastic, I recall, on the LG V20, on the rear cameras. It has two cameras. And there was this plastic thing, and the first year I just took it off because it's the phone is getting older, and no worries, took it off. Huge mistake, pretty much, because I took it off, and very very much of the same time, very close to after taking it off, I already had scratches, and the plastic that was in there, and it was like on, and they absolutely did do some protection. The stupid thing of me taking it off, it was just stupid, because again, after taking it off, it didn't protect, it didn't just give that extra layer, so I got scratches on the glass. Now, I think around after 2 years of the phone, of the LG V20, on the rear cameras, totally stopped working, so the glass, when I was going to a swim, or the swimming hole and all that, and I was going to the swimming hole, and coming into the men's apartment to exchange clothing and all that, I don't know why, but good. It usually lays down in my left pocket, down at this place right here, because then it's also a little away from your junk, your private parts. You don't want to get those radiated and all that. You want to have the mobile a little away, and That's a pretty nice spot to have it. So besides having it right there, on the knee, so the glass goes inside to the body, so you protect the screen, so it doesn't break or get into issues. In any case, so I took it up and out flies the camera things, the glass and all that. So I find one of the pieces and that's great. But then I found out I was missing a piece. It was pretty much too late, a small piece of something. And so that's absolutely a very bad thing in regards to the LG. The glue just came unglued. It just couldn't. It didn't glue anymore. I guess maybe it's also in regards of the hot and because it broke or anything like that. Although it had it absolutely had some lines on the glass. But didn't break. So and you couldn't really see there was any things. If you use the camera, there's no problem in regards of using the camera on the rear, even. So, but anyway, so that came off, and it ended up smashing the cameras without the protection. That was bad. Anyway, that was one of the things of the LG V20 that just didn't, that's a minus for the phone. Another minus that we know from the LG V20 is the ghosting. And I actually from the German company. It didn't take, or it took around a week. I don't think it took a week, but I'm not, some time ago. But around a week, then this first screen broke, by the first fall. The first time I dropped the phone from less than 20 centimeters, sitting on the toilet just wanting to, any mobile should be able to handle a little punch like that, It's like over 800 euros for the phone, You're going to tell me that a drop less than 20 meters can ruin the screen, Apparently. So anyway, so I'm told I just have a faulty device, apparently, which is also all the things have just been faulty in regards to the device. Well, and why do I then need to pay for a whole new screen for it, Anyway, I got the second screen. That was a pixel issue in the middle, but, I could use it. So I didn't really want to bother with, more bullshit pretty much. I just wanted to use the phone, But it wasn't just one drop. I did drop it, a couple of times, And it absolutely did last a lot better. But it's not that many drops. But yeah, okay, it lasted for some time. But I never tried a mobile where the screen just totally dies on that level. But anyway, I'm told it's a faulty device, The CEO has told me that, he has on the first screen as I understood it. So apparently it's just my phone that is just faulty, but I have to pay for a new screen, even if it's the device that is faulty, apparently, right? So makes total nonsense. But anyway, of course, he didn't want to send me a free screen for free when I didn't want to take my video down in regards of my negative. It's sick. I'm sick of these games of how they make mobiles nowadays. How they just make them to break pretty much, and they might not make them to break, but they are breaking. How can you just. Yeah, anyway. So the LG V20, oh yeah, that was actually, in regards to the shift, the thing that I didn't tell about the in the middle, so it's kind of annoying. It was not like a pixel that was out in the side, but, whatever. Of course, the Panzer glass as well began to, jump off at the sides. First one corner, then another corner, then all four corners, and then I dropped it from the kitchen, and then it broke. That was the first breakage of the panzer glass. Oh well, anyway, and then it further broke apart from there on. Glass at all, Any case, whatever. But you have enough protection that you usually won't hit the screen anyway at all, because when you have the silicone thing, that pretty much protects it from hitting the screen. You need to hit something like a rock or something like that, or something that has some kind of, and that's took it off, no problem. It was, going off in all the four corners anyway, and didn't look so good. Although the mobile was working, so no problem. And the pixel issue. Well, any case, okay, great. But actually, after using the screen, and I did use the Shift 6MQ a lot. I'm a hardcore user, and I did really in my, what do you call it, chair with charging it pretty much. I was pretty much locked to that position in some sense, because I was charging all the time. But the thing is, it was still charging batteries while I could. No, because I there was different things happening at that time, so I don't know if it's one thing or the other. But I would think that if you probably reset the system, it will probably begin to charge correctly again. I was told this was in regards of different charge of doing things like that. It's stupid, using a lot of time just, but that's what I, kind of sometimes do, I want to have the best of the best to, and if I only have the mobile to charge batteries, I really want them to, I really want it to charge as its best ability, so I can charge all my batteries, right? Because I bought 4 batteries, so I absolutely chargers was pretty much the best option for the mobile to charge it, at the greatest speed. It ran up to 3,100 milliamps when it was really in the, so that was great, but clearly something went wrong. It died. Apparently it couldn't handle to charge, the device all the time, and I was pretty much using it for a lot of hours, charging one battery to 100%, and then flipping that out and taking another battery and putting it in the charger. So the charger could handle to that degree, so it wasn't, it was to the max of the charger which it was written for. In regards to, what is it? I can't remember the statistic. Is it like 9 volt? I can't remember. It's in here. No, I think I pack it down. Oh wait. I'll be right back. I have a bag of chargers somewhere. I don't know. Oh, there we go. So this is a bag of some of the chargers that I have, and I pretty much have thrown others out that wasn't. Let's see if we can find. This was the charger that, I bought a new one of the same charger because I thought maybe like that, it's not weighing too much and all that. I had another one that also gave it pretty much the same, although it was a bigger, and although the dimensions of this was much bigger. It was an Anger thing, one of these new Anger Atom things. They can handle up to 20 volts, 1.5. Lower than what is really the dimensions is for. But anyway, the charger that I primarily used burned off, and then I had some updates of the system, of the shift system, and and then it stopped charging. And again, I would probably think if I reset the system, because I had the same problem on the LG V20, although that was less of a problem because I had the external chargers. I had two external chargers, so it wasn't really a biggie. You could still charge the battery with the mobile, although it didn't charge as quickly. The same, pretty much restarting, the system and all that after getting rid of my old system, and then it just works again. So it probably is a software issue of some kind. I don't know, coming maybe with an update. When you update that, there's, I don't know, or maybe it seems like the LG V20. I tried all actually became pretty hot with a foreign charger, and but really the foreign charger could just do zero point 0.2 amps more, and the mobile shouldn't really have, should just have been taking what it needed, so it shouldn't really have been a problem. But they usually have should, and it didn't charge as quick anymore, and then but that again, I just used the external chargers. Not a biggie. It's pretty, actually not a problem at all, actually, because again you had the external chargers. So, and if this is like a thing in regards of upgrading or whatnot, I don't know. But whatever the case, it's of course nonsense that the system does that. Maybe this is one of these designed absolution things that turns on, by mistake, or turns on over time or whatnot. Android is just such a totally molested system, and so and if you root it, that just gets totally. Oh yeah, anyway, so the LG V20, of course, had ghosting. We know, in regards of people using it, a lot of people were trying to find solutions for the ghosting, and apparently LG didn't really care. The company didn't seem to be had these ghosting issues after around a year of use, or a little less than a year. It depends again how much do you use it, and screen, and I guess also in regards of the screen light and all that. But anyway, so there was a standard problem that a lot of people had and tried to find solutions. The best solution was said to be unrooted devices, but again, as I've said, it's hacking the device, and Google have made it as difficult as possible to actually do what you want with the mobile. So it's really disgusting. But anyway, what am I thinking about? Yeah. So, but there was also alternative ways that didn't need rooting that you could do, and yeah, but you could absolutely still use the mobile even with the ghosting. So it wasn't a totally, but absolutely something that takes, it shouldn't be there on a huge expensive mobile. You gotta be kidding me. Um, so I guess after around 3 years of use in regards to the LG V20, compared to this, I do feel like you easily are swiping things. Maybe that's because you're, when you're using the or whatever, on the screen, maybe it takes out the surface. I remember someone talking about that if you use some of these, that you might actually be taking off some kind of surface thing that they have put on it. But whatever the case, it still looked pretty no scratches really or anything like that. The problem was, is that the glue apparently behind the screen, and I guess it must be maybe the Gorilla Glass or whatever it's called. I think it probably is one of these Gorilla Glasses that they had. I'm not sure, but whatever the case, um, after 3 years. So that's another. I had to fix some tape at the bottom to keep the glass, so it wouldn't jump up. But besides that, the screen never broke. But in regards to it's gotten a knock and something, and one of the places actually the plastic got a what do you call it, a opening pretty much. Not because not a big problem overall, but you can see it if you look for it and all that. You can see, okay, it really got a hit there at the LG V20 is not that hard to take apart and and collect again. It's not the worst thing, But anyway, so a new LG V20 phone, so I could just have put all my things over to it, and then it would really have all the days, all the weeks, all the months of time that I've been wasting on this nonsense, because it never came to Europe. I had to order my first LG V20 from Hong Kong, and which it's a absolutely the best choice to do. I wanted a phone that I would be happy about, but as standard, like in the past, it was pretty much standard for a flagship to have these essentials. But apparently, in our days, well, the world has gone utterly nuts. It's sadly not in a. Thinking a little more in regards of, if 10 stars is the most, then I would get the LG V20 1 star. 1 star out of 10 stars. Now, I do think it's the best mobile that is out there. I haven't found anything better, even now. To replace it, haven't found anything to the Shift 6MQ I had hoped would have been a replacement for it. It was but yeah, sadly I case, not for my needs anyway. And I would have loved to promote the phone if it's, but I'm not going to play along in regards of getting something or whatnot. It's, that's just what I think. Okay, sadly, I really became disillusioned about the product. I was thinking, when they released it and they only had one camera, one rear camera working because there was some driver issues, because the drivers wasn't made for Android 10 and all that. So the hardware 8 for it. They said Android 8 in the beginning in regards of selling the mobile, Android 8. And if they had continued with Android 8, you would still have been able to record calls, because, there were Android 9 when Google took the feature away from the users, and then further in Android 10 and all that. And of course, they already have Android 8 for their other mobile versions. So I would have thought that there might not. Maybe it's something in regards of getting Google to accept camera. So I don't think they're going to get that to work, and that's just kind of kind of not so good with a phone that is costing 800 euros, you know. It's a big price point from Android 8 to Android 10. And I don't know if when I actually ordered the phone, if I ordered it in regards to when they said Android 8, or if I ordered it after they fixed it to Android 10, but I recall thinking that okay, Android 10, well, I can still root the device, but again, the of issues and all that, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work, and it's just waste of time, you know. It's I found out that I don't want to even look at rooting Android phones anymore. You know, it's a waste of time. You always get into issues, and those issues get into more issues, and then new issues in V20. Pretty much, you know, even if you don't root it, it pretty much have what you need in some sense. Of course, there are still things that, but you know, the most important thing is in regards of being able to record calls. So you can save important calls, you know, listen to them again, and so forward. Um, you know, it's not totally needed with the LG V20. You can live without them. It's not to say that it wouldn't be nice to be able to do it, but yeah, well, thank Google for all the bullshit, you know. So I already was looking, you know, I was also in regards to the LG V20, I was looking for something else than Android, because I think that software developers should be using different, you know, specific in regards of icons, which just made a mess of things, and one of the applications that had the nicest icon was, you know, they changed that, and I was like, yeah, it's just, and you don't even have the ability to change those icons in the programs for the most part. I think I know one program that you can do that, and all that. But anyway, so Google was forcing its tyranny. I could see the same thing in regards of not allowing some of these programs that actually could record calls to put the phone number in, and you needed to then, you know, you automatically update the program, right? And then you have an issue, you know. I was like, yeah, what is going on? Yeah, so many bullshit moves that Google have been doing, and it's just horrible, absolutely horrible. And of course, that's not Shift's fault in regards to the Shift 6MQ, but yeah. Anyway, so in regards of the LGV20, I would give it 1 star out of 10, which is that's really a wonderful thing. That's absolutely a positive thing. It has the 3 essentials, absolutely wonderful thing. But you know, things like not, you know, no root out of the box, and I know this is standard in Android, you know. So I don't know if that exists any Android in the world that actually have root out. And then of course the issues in regards to the ghosting, which by the way, we never came to that. Actually, the Shift 6MQ actually got ghosting. I actually, with the second screen and using the second screen for these many, you know, these many months, it's not even years, it's just months, it got ghosting. I got ghosting after that because the screen is dead. But in any case, you could easily see it, you know, when it was working. And so you got ghosting with you know, the same problem regard, you know, the Shift 6MQ has a ghosting problem. Now, of course, you can just buy a new screen and all that, but still, again, the screen is costing nearly as much as just buying a new, you know, for the same price as the screen cost for the Shift 6MQ. You know, just anyway. So anyway, yeah. So that would, of course, in regards to the LG V20. In regards to the ghosting, absolutely minus, you know. You shouldn't have any ghosting on a screen, you know. But I guess it's do that, on the Shift as far as I know. Although I haven't tried that yet, but I still need to order a new screen because apparently, because I have a faulty device of the Shift 6MQ, apparently, yeah, that's the reason why I have two screens that broke. Apparently, they tell me. So I just don't get that. If I have a faulty device and some, you know, I don't get why I need to pay for a screen. But anyway, I of course need a screen if I want to get my data out, and so it's like I do if I want to move applications from one mobile to another mobile. I need a screen that works. So it's you're kind of pushed into things in regards to that. Anyway, whatever. So it's not a problem. I'll pay for that screen and get it working and all that, and get my data. If it's totally new, I would think, or if it's, whatever the case, it does look this does look very nice. Doesn't seem to have any ghosting, so. And it does seem to be totally new, but they could be, they could just have fixed the thing with plastic again and put it in the box. Who knows, But whatever the case, so I could just move the things over to the, and just move forward, and go on, and just so much mess, and then. Of course, I did get one, the F800K, a week before I got the Shift 6 MQ. But so what I did with that, and then because it was rooted, I could then use other applications, so I could move the applications from my F800K to the new mobile. This, it's just so much. These applications that are made outside in regards to moving applications and whatnot can't run without Play Store. And I had the version of. I guess I started with a Play Store version as far as I recall in regards of the Shift 6MQ. The problem with that was that in regards to moving applications and finding a program that would run without, because then you buy an application but it still wants to be activated. It's just a mess. It is absolutely a mess. So you end up using so much energy and resources, and it's just incredible how much energy you end up putting into. I would have been satisfied and just could have moved all my data over to it. But nope, sadly, all the corona nonsense and all that, can't send this and that, whatever. Anyway, so instead I used month, on this bullshit. Used so much time, wasted so much time on this. Figuring out how to root the phone. Work, and it's just a huge gigantic process to just figure out how to root the phone, and you need to get the right applications that can do things. Even if it's the same application, it might work differently. It was like you needed to install an application and download another and move some of the files over, and then it would it's just wasting so much time. But anyway, getting all my applications over on the Shift 6MQ, and just seeing how many issues I just got with that phone is just horrible. It's just totally too many issues. And anyway, the Librem 5, of course, I was looking at that at some point in regards of getting away from Android. But, of course, the Librem 5 was a huge disappointment when they were hyping it to the skies, and they made Librem Chat and Librem, Librem Chat and Librem, they still have it, but I can't remember. But anyway, one of them is in regards to Matrix. I think that's Librem Chat, which the servers ended up stalling, like you see on Matrix chat app. It can become very very slow. And, it's already known in regards to the Matrix network that it has problems of so forward, and it was very sad because you actually did have a pretty good network of people that was interested in the same kind of things, freedom and things of that sort. But yeah, I just, what was it? What was the other one called? Librem Chat and Librem. Ready, sadly. The phone was just not ready at all, and they really hyped the things up, and of course they did get some things right, but the phone was just not there, and the what do you call it, the people, the community, finding out, thought that it was further, they made it out to sound like it was, much further, for a usable mobile phone than it really was. I think I felt like it was dishonest, They talked about that the mobile could call and all that, but it seems to not really. Yeah, anyway, just a lot of things went downhill pretty much. And when the Librem chat or the Matrix server they had, I think it was called Librem chat, when that began to stall and have issues, and then I found out the other Librem, I can't remember what it's called, but they had this of turning it on. Then I lost some, and getting all these mails that I couldn't just stop, and every single month. That was not an easy option to stop these emails, apparently. I was like, all these things together, I just, yeah. So, yeah. So, the other option on the Linux mode one can also use because they're both working on Linux things and all that. So, but it was just very sad to see that it failed in some sense for the Librem. But they're still ongoing and all that. So hopefully they will get, hopefully they will get further with these things, But clearly not at the place where they, now the Pinephone is coming out with the Pro version, and that's looking very good, But and they seem to actually also be honest in regards to saying, hey, you guys, this is not like, for most people that seems to be not like a daily user thing, They're saying that there's a lot of problems with the product, and this is still, more for, it seems like, the hardcore user. They seem to actually be pretty honest, this Pinephone thing, It looks pretty good, I think. The community also seems to be, I have a user on the forum and I haven't had any problem. Of course, that can of course change, but we actually do have talked about the vaccines and it's allowed to. Anyway, and people are also in the interest of freedom for the user. The good, the wonderful thing in regards to the Pinephone would be that you have root out of the box, and the system wouldn't be like faulty because the root is something that is just inside Linux as default, Whereas Google have taken this feature out the Android was sold as a Linux system in the beginning. That was one of the things that, like, oh, it's Linux, oh, it's Linux. Yeah, totally molested Linux. If you wanna call it anything. And Google has just made a lot of things. Just a lot of bullshit moves. Anyway, it's the camera is less than the LG V20 as far both the rear and the front, and it only has, as far as I recall, one camera, one front camera, one rear camera, which is not a big problem because whatever, I don't really care if it has. Well, I guess the LG actually has two cameras, two front cameras, two back cameras, but anyway, they it has the three essentials, so that's nice. I would probably not be able to give it many stars if I try it out, although the software is set to become better and better. The whole idea is that they want things to be better. They don't want to begin to do stupid things. They want the mobile to be better by bullshitters. And we see open source applications where they have been infiltrated and begin to, like, you can take Firefox, right? You take Firefox and they start out saying, oh, they're so concerned about your privacy and all that. And what is the default search engine for Firefox? Yeah, privacy is Google. Yeah, but Firefox is so concerned about your privacy. It's just bullshit. That's just one thing. But anyway, just give me a break with this bullshit. You're concerned about my privacy and you send me directly to Google. Not by their words, but by what they're doing, right? Any case. So we clearly have seen that things are sadly ruined from inside, and yeah. Well, anyway. So we know that just because something is open source doesn't mean that it can't be infiltrated and taken over and ruined, pretty much. Google have so much power, so they can still they can ruin things, and make it not open anymore, apparently. So what's the point of being open source if more and more becomes non-open? Just give me a break, Any case, we can see the direction it's going, and I don't like it, and I don't want to take part in it, so I'm really the root out of the package is just, if you need it, it's nice to have. And it's nice to have to not need to hack your mobile for actually being, wanting to, trying to do what you really want to do with the phone, Like, give me a break. So this is one of the things that also takes down in regards of the LG V20, in regards of it as a mobile. I think the standards is way too low nowadays for most people. They just go along with the bullshit. They want to talk about green and, the environment and all that, and yet you can't nearly get a mobile where you can replace the battery. They're blowing on the smoke because that's what earns them a lot of money, and instead of actually looking at the cause, it's not. I guess I don't know how many actually uses these anymore, but this is it's not totally standard light bulb. But anyway, it's a light bulb, okay? These light bulbs, they conspired that they could only last for 1,000 hours. Yes, it was not because that these light bulbs couldn't last longer than 1,000 hours, but months. and use time on going down to the store, buying them, and fixing this light bulb up. Think about how many man hours over the world that has. You gotta be kidding me. But they are interested in the environment. Bullshit. It's the same thing with mobiles. They are interested in you buying new things. That's what they're interested in. They tend to blow on the smoke in our world, instead of going to the cause, because they don't want to look at the cause. They want to blame us for the fault, instead of, it's not because they're producing bullshit, designed absolution. No, it's because of us, It's nothing to do that they design things to break after a couple of tired of that nonsense. But yeah, that's the game, But anyway, so the whole mobile market pretty much went away from sanity, and the LG V20 was the last flag model that actually, had just be able to change batteries, and then began to all this fast charging bullshit and all that, and then you get all these compatible issues, and then it's just time waster, and you have one cable that works better on some devices than other devices and works differently on different chargers, and it's just a mess. You gotta be kidding me. It's just when it drops low, we can just change the battery. And we are from 0 to 100 in like that. But anyway, and if we have a big enough battery, we usually wouldn't even need to do that, because we wouldn't use the whole battery. So we could actually go for a whole day without actually, needing to change battery. But if it happened, we could just change the battery. Anyway. So yeah, I would give the LG V20, even if I would still say this is the best mobile there is on the market. If you can get a charging cradle and get an LG V20 and some bigger battery with this silicone something, I'm not sure it's made of silicone, but some kind of that protection, because it protects the camera glass and all that. Just getting it, and this is another design fault of mobiles, which is utter bullshit. The camera is always sticking out of the phone. What's bullshit is this? They could just have made the what do you foremost thing that will touch the ground is the mobile area. Yeah, that seems to be the most stupid design choice ever, right? I wonder if they did that on purpose, Gotta wonder, right? Most likely, I don't know. But anyway, it's incredible, Why not just go the extra, just incredible how you gotta be kidding me, in regards of how small the batteries is and how little time it actually gets you on the mobile, and it's just nonsense. And I have no idea why they wouldn't be able to make different sizes, for the mobiles as well. But of course, when you begin to, of course, have, yeah, I just. Anyway, we have other companies that made bigger batteries, like the LG V20. You had Pinephone was one of those companies. And the 6,400 milliamp battery was the best that I tried of the batteries I tried. I tried different others. I still have just too heavy, and it has some problems in regards to the volume buttons, which I didn't have with the 6,400. So it's I wouldn't go for 10,500, and it also does seem to be way too much. That seems to actually go over the limit where I feel like that seems to be a little overkill. It's hard to use a whole battery in a day in regards of you really have to use the. It seems to be the yeah, it didn't seem to be too much and too little. It seems to be perfect, pretty much. Perfect size, perfect weight, and perfect battery time. And of course, in regards to this annoying warning with when it goes to 15%, and in regards to closing the light on the phone, you don't get that. I did order some bigger batteries, 8,000 something this time, because I actually found out that Pinephone was also making some 8,000 whatever batteries. So I've ordered those and some 6,400 batteries, so I can get back to my LG V20 and hopefully use it for some years and forget about this Pro. It looks good, it would be interesting to try out and all that, but I just, there's so many things to do, and yeah, it could be fun, and it's not that expensive and all that, but yeah, it's just, yeah, it's just more time, if I had been younger or something like that, and I could probably have had and many times it's also because of a lot of the bullshit, right, in regards to the mobiles, like all the issues I had in regards to rooting the phone and trying to get the applications from one phone to the other phone, and then also some of the, like the LG applications works on the LG phones only. You gotta be kidding me, right? No, it can only work on, and that's probably an LG notes. I had all these notes, which I've lost a lot now, but I still have a good amount of them. I salvage, but the problem with the all, you can't move all these nodes from this application to the Shift, because the Shift is not an LG mobile, and thereby LG again maybe something that they put programmers into fixing, that you could only use the application for their mobile. So it's not because the application couldn't run on other mobiles, because why wouldn't it be able to run on other mobiles? You gotta be kidding me. But probably they fixed so so it can only run on LG mobiles. That's again, then I need to use time looking if there has anyone that has actually gotten this to work on another form of mobile, right? And who knows, maybe I actually need a rooted mobile for that. I don't know. In any case, so there's all these issues that you hit into as a user, which is just bullshit. Backing things up. The problem is that you can only go in one direction. They only made it that if you have another foreign mobile, you can go one direction with the apps and the applications, but you cannot go from the LG to another phone. Because, yeah, well, that's what they did, probably because they probably not because it couldn't be done, but because they only wanted it to work with LG phones. It's disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgusting. So, but anyway, so the LG V20 phone, 1 star out of 10. It's way, that's a long way to getting a 10 star. And probably that was probably never come a mobile that is a 10 star mobile, because if you look at the products we have, mobile, sadly. We might get a little up there, if the Linux phones gets a lot better, but that's still years down the line. But 10 stars, probably not. Nope. Well, and again, I don't know how long and I don't really care anymore, I guess, because my body has so many issues, and it's just going downhill, Research things for 20 years to figure out it's a fungal issue, you gotta be kidding me. Finding out that they're hiding that fungus is a huge problem, and of course they want to talk about viruses these days, Let's not talk about that cancer is actually a fungal infection, and many other sicknesses are actually fungal related. Anyway, the big secret that they are earning the monster. And if you're drinking alcohol, stop drinking alcohol. If you're eating a lot of sugar, see if you can get to zero, sugar. Try eating red meat only for a couple of days and see if your symptoms actually, are gone. Because if you can stop your symptoms, you're in the right direction. It took me. This couldn't be this or you're on the. Yeah, whatever. It's a bullshit system that is murdering people. Anyway, it's a wicked world. It's a wicked world. So I was looking at the Fairphone 4 phone and I was thinking, it doesn't matter in regards of looking at that phone because it's Android 11 and Android is Android and it's bullshit to record calls. I haven't heard. I would be very surprised if they had opened up for the recording. So I've tried Android 10, right? I don't know how much difference is in regards of Android 11, but they probably didn't put in the feature and against the users, and I just don't want to support them, and I don't like the don't. You can see how corrupt it all is. Don't be evil, I think was Android's thing, or maybe it was Google's, but yeah, they're absolutely evil. Well, they absolutely are evil now, that's for sure. But that's the thing. They all, in the beginning, you always need to look like a sheep, right? And then further down the line, you can begin to take the sheep clothing off and do what you really. Other. I mean, when they get popular enough and all that, they can just begin to do. They can begin to ruin things. In the beginning, it looks very nice, and people think, "Oh, that looks good," and no advertising and no bullshit. Oh, it looks and it's pretty lightweight and all that, and star out of 10. Yeah, I think that was pretty solid. Now, how much more would I give the Shift 6MQ? And I thought about that. How much would I actually give that mobile? And I think half a star would be fitting for the Shift that could charge outside the mobile. That was just really, really good thing to have that. It's because it's just an awesome thing to have a charger outside the mobile to charge your batteries, and you just change the battery, flip it around and all that. Instead of needing to be wired and all that, you can just charge your battery outside external. Make and all that. But any case, the Shift doesn't have that. I did find that external charger that I'm trying out at the moment. There are some, that's a USB charger where you put it into the USB and all that. As far as I can see in regards of my LG V20 testing this device, it charged the battery percent. Of course, I do for the LG V20. I do have a charger that actually can charge to 100%. The original charger that I got. But yeah, in regards to the other one, does also seem to charge the or the Shift 6MQ batteries. But I don't know to what extent, because I for 90% as well, so we'll see. I'll have to see, and even if it could actually charge them to 100%, that would be awesome. I did see some other charging devices, but they need a plug for, and I was looking for a charger that could be charging over the USB because I will then be living on USB power pretty much, and thereby it's not really going to work for there's no point in me buying anything in regards of of the standard electrician plug and all that when I don't have it. But that's possibilities for others for sure too. There are some for same version of a variant that seem for the USB port that is out there. And it seems like it's the same stats as the one I have. So it will probably be the same problem in regards to only charging to around 90%. I think it was, I think I got 92% on one of them. But anyway, if it works with the Shift 6MQ, I would absolutely, point that out. But that would absolutely be a thing that could help other users actually, that wants more batteries and don't want to have the shift in charging always. And that would absolutely be a way to make the it's a standard thing of most phones today, that they make the battery way too small. So this is not only a shift phone. So when I'm pushing on the shift phone, when it seems like I'm really really awful against the shift phone, just consider that a lot of other phones out there, pretty much they wouldn't even get half a star, they would give 0 stars. All the phones, if they don't have the 3 essentials, it's not worth looking at, Don't give me the bullshit of getting a mobile where you can't change the batteries, That's just hogwash, it's nonsense, it's utterly bullshit. And don't talk about the environment and all that. To do when the battery, don't work anymore or get worse and all that. Oh, but you just have to buy a new phone, right? Yeah, because you can't just change the batteries, right? Nope. No. The only reason why the LG V20 kept so long was because I could change batteries, I've had a couple of batteries dying. I think 3 always have the ability to change the batteries, and then people will say, well, then isn't it, in regards to more battery. I just don't understand the logic of these people. I was talking to, he was like, well, then how can you say that's more green, because you can't change the battery. I don't know, the work so invalid. It's incredible. People can't think. They're full of bullshit, pretty much. How can you say that it's better not to be able to replace the mobile? It's just, oh, you gotta be kidding me, because you will need to buy demons these days. The sanity is just lost. They run after the devil, and that's just sadly the fact, Oh, well, there seems to be this mushy things. Oh well, let's try to push some. Anyway, so yeah, it's just where did we come from? Yeah, so most mobiles out there, pretty much. So that's just, it's bullshit, and they shouldn't do it. So and again, you don't have that many phones with these 3 essentials. You have the Fairphone 3 with the 3 essentials. You had the Librem, but the Librem wasn't really working, so that's not really. Then you had the Pinephone, and of course the models also have jack phone and memory and replaceable battery. But the problem with the other versions of the Shift phones is that they only have 64 gigabytes of internal memory, and that's just it's the same as the LG V20, which is for that. But then of course you have the Fairphone 4, but it doesn't have the jack stick. You would need to use the USB for the jack stick, and again, then you get into a lot of where you need to dig around and figure things out, and I don't know about that, but you have models with 128 gigabytes and 250. Plug out the micro SD card without taking the battery out, and the same thing with the SIM card, but not anymore, Like, I don't understand this bullshit design. And the Shift phone have it. The Shift 6MQ have this design. The careful, because you still need to open the thing, and the where the battery are kept, and so you need to be careful. But it is possible to do. But if the battery gets out of the contacts by just a little bump or something like that while you have the thing open, then you need to, then the phone needs to restart. Two, or the SIM slot two, you can actually take the the SIM card out. So that's at least possible. So actually, you can actually take the SIM card and the micro SD card out while the LG V20 is running. Although it's not like in the old days. It's where the battery is, and that means the battery can easily jump off if you make something. You need to keep the battery down while doing it, and that it can be done. I've done it. You get into the things, and you can figure out how to do it and all that. And but still, sometimes you make a mistake, and then you have to restart. MQ, you can't do it. You need to take the batteries out. Or the battery out for it. And the Fairphone 4, you can't do it either there. You need to take the battery out, as far as I could see from the video. It's just nonsense. I have no idea why the designers are so there's totally logical things. They just can't figure that out, No idea why. Besides being, having some problems with the devil, demons housing them or something like that leads their logic totally astray, or their sensibility. I'm not sure in regards if you need to have the battery out. But yeah. But of course, it doesn't really matter much, because the Librem phone is just it's not ready. Although I don't know how far they have gone with it now, but yeah, it's probably not long enough, as far as I can see. And if the Pinephone can call and also record calls, that's a pretty good beginning, and take some photos and all that. That's a pretty nice, the foundation. If the foundation is okay, well, and that's, and if they can, further improve the time, the battery time, and if they could also actually have bigger batteries for it. I think they use a specific battery for some kind of other mobile. Maybe what are they called? 3D printers. I haven't really tried 3D printing myself and all that, and probably, there's so many things and all that, and so many other things. But maybe you could actually design. You should actually be able to design if you could get the battery. If you can get the battery for a bigger battery for that kind, you can lock it in. Again, it's not something that, but I think it would be possible. And of course, if you could actually do that, you could help the whole community as a whole. Just say, hey, I made this, here, guys, and help the community, because that's what the community do in regards of Linux, helping each other, right? Someone gives something to you. Much. the community, helping each other, giving, and the problem, of course, with that, when people stops giving and they just take and take and take and they don't give anything back, because then it stalls the thing, a software, free open source software, and they themselves like make it mobile ready, but they don't give the mobile ready thing back to the so other people that would like to want it, they can't have it because those that have made it keep it to themselves, and that pretty much stalls the whole community. And it's slimming down in regards of users using old forums. Then I'm talking about Flux BB pretty much. But that's any case. That was just one of the things that I could think of in regards of where you can see that if people just take and do something themselves and don't give it back to the rest of the community, then the idea is that someone gives something to you and you give something, and when you grow you can begin helping others, and it's just wonderful. And if you get into a good community that you like and all that, that's really sadly a lot of these communities hate the truth about Jesus Christ. They really turn totally off in regards to that. So that's very sad. You can also see how a whole community can just be ruined by just one man, even if it's open source and all that. Like Crunchbang was just totally ruined. This was a wonderful system. I still wonder if this guy was paid for doing what he did, He did in regards of saying that no one, he didn't want anyone to to further run Crunchbang. It just doesn't make any sense, and he shouldn't he shouldn't have had the authority to do it either, because that's the whole point of open source. If something breaks or something, like kind of the point of it, and someone actually did take it over in regards to Crunchbang plus plus, but the whole community was just ruined. The website, what a wonderful website, worked out, the community as a whole, and it was active and absolutely had its place and all that, and giving the finger to the whole community. He should have known in regards of someone that could maybe continue and take it from there, but no. But anyway, we have Crunchbang plus plus, and I actually have it installed on my laptop. So, but I, have it. The point and where you just can't. It's hard to store information because you're already full. Sadly. I think we got the brush here fixed. In any case, what was I talking about? We got into oh yeah, so the Pinephone Pro looks great. Looks good. 66 or Pope 666, and that's a good. That's a good. Because if you get kicked out of a community, it's really hard to really. The community is really, and I guess that's also what they actually pointed out. When you get to the community, right, and you help each other, that's really the important things. If you're getting kicked out from something to get help, and you can't get help because you're kicked out or whatever, then it's so frustrating, and it's really damaging totally. It's damaging. I remember there was a place where you should write in regards of yourself, and I wrote in regards of Christianity and what I was interested in and all that, right? And yeah, anyway, I got into things in regards to that, and I got kicked out of the kicked out of the forum multiple times, and at that point I found out, I can't. Uh, it's also interesting in regards to the Kronspang community. I was in the Kronspang under another name before, but when I became a Christian and came back to the community, it's they I you get a lot of hate, and getting kicked out of the. And there we go, 15%. Well, at least it goes away. Still annoying, but at least it goes away pretty quickly again, but whatever. At least it's not blinking like the shift phone. The shift phone just blink, 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 blink. It's like, you've got it slows down, it's just, oh, give me a break. Again, a bigger battery would help on that situation. What is it, like 4,000 milliamps or something like that the shift phone is, I think. If they made the battery to I don't know. Apparently they felt like they were misusing time on me and all that. Well, what about my time, researching and figuring things out and trying to help them back and all that, right? So my time is not use and point them out and all that. It takes time, and it takes energy, and it's well. And yeah, I'm just honest. I'm just trying to be honest about the product, and then being told I'm lying and all that. Just oh my. It's just kind of frustrating to you're hoping that they would make things, you're waiting for the next update and you hope things are fixed, and yet it just seems to get worse, it's just, and then, two screens breaking and the price for one screen, and I don't even know why the company wouldn't just send the new screen to me, because if the phone you sent me is faulty in regards to the two screens, which I don't believe, I really, in regards to dropping the phones for hundreds of times, I kind of have a, I don't know how that could be possible, It is really, really easy to break the screen. That's what I experienced, Two screens broken, say to people, go get a Shift 6 MQ when when the screen are so. But this is a huge gigantic point. Hey, there's probably a lot of other mobiles that is as easy to break as the Shift phone, but this is just nonsense. And I would be after any other phone that breaks. So, and then saying that it's a faulty device and not wanting to replace the screen. It does seem to be bullshit as well, right? Hey, if you say it's a faulty device that I've got, but you don't want to replace the screen for free, that I need to pay it for myself, give me a break, Oh well, whatever. That's bullshit. Yeah, I guess the community didn't like me as well in regards to the forum, So I don't get it, and we would never have had a problem in the past, I think, on those accords, in regards of trying to find child-friendly search engines that doesn't have LGBT, sodomy, porn, and all that. And I was just going through the list where we think sodomy is a-okay to do, and we think ourselves to be animals, and we hate God and all that. So people get so offended when someone is trying to look for child-friendly search engines that also is, not keeping the data and all problem, right? Well, the problem is, I guess, money in regards to supporters and all that, and they might not like what, blah, 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 blah. And we get complaints and all that. Yeah, let them complain then, Give me a break. It's not, the people that speaks the truth, What do you have left? Oh, darkness. Oh, that's true, Yeah, so let's just anyway. That's that's just the way it is in all these, right? It's very sad. People hate the truth. People are full of demons. People love the darkness that they have. That's just the way it is. Sadly, can't. Oh well. It's. I hope for the best in you. They're talking about we still, we want to make this your love phone and all that. And I was thinking when I read that you have these things issues here. How are you going to fix that? But anyway, I kept on, the boat in some sense and hope for the best. Hope for the best. I don't think they will get it. I don't think they will get the other thing to work. I hope they will, but. Sadly, I don't think they will, but hey, maybe I'm wrong, but it's kind of what do you call it? It's kind of not, I guess, honest to not tell people that if they're buying the phone, they're actually only buying one camera. When you say there are two cameras in it, it's just and maybe drivers for in regards of Android 10. And again, I think it seems to me that it is a mistake to have upgraded to Android 10 instead of Android 8, but there might have been some things, who knows, in regards of maybe, I don't know. But if they had run with Android 8, they would have, but maybe gotten an Android 8 version out, well, you could record calls still without any issue. You would have the cameras working, and they already have Android 8 on other devices, so you would think that they already had some kind of but anyway, they jumped to Android 10 because I don't know, but they did, and when you find out that you really need to root it to actually it's terrible. It's terrible. Now, one of the first thing I did notice when I got the Shift 6MQ was the difference. Just be my ears that is the problem. The speaker is also too low out of the box. You can adjust that if you root the phone, but again, and find the right program, and that's this wonderful program. I think it's called Viber or something like that. It's incredible nice. It should be standard software. But that's that amazing application, I think. You can adjust the sound on so many levels and all that. But again, you get into others, Android. I guess it's like, the problem is that you get Magist, and Magist like, it's a third party hacking thing, and it shouldn't even be needing to hack. Just bullshit. Yeah, that's what it is. You should just be able to do what you want directly from the very beginning, and that's not the case, and that's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. Anyway, but that's how it is, and that's very sad, because exist at all. I think every time you have a rooted device, you probably have some kind of Magist. It's the standard used today. In the past, we also have another option to give root. I guess that's more than we also had. I guess the third option. So that's three options, but primarily the thing that is used today is Magist, which, as I understand it, is like it goes in and becomes like a layer between the get into so many issues. And I'm just tired, done with it. If I had an LG V20, I would never root it. If anyone have an LG V20, I would not go the rooting way. Because you end up using so much time on it, and I guess it's not really. It's not, and you can, you can, yeah, you can use a program like the commanding file manager. What is it called? I can't remember. If you use the MP3 player and that, you can boost the sound from the application. The Viber application, when you root it, can boost the whole thing. The whole Android device can be boosted, and it's so nice. It's so sad that this is not standard application in Android, But I guess we don't wanna have such great features. Up the speaker audio when you have the Viber thing. It's wonderful application, absolutely wonderful. But again, it should have worked without needing to hack the device. Because again, hacking the device makes a lot of issues. The good thing with the Shift 6MQ when you actually root it is that it benchmark the Shift 6 the Shift 6MQ in non-rooted and rooted. It doesn't seem to be much of a difference. I'm sorry, I've just gotten something in the throat. Let's just take some water. There we go. Some peppermint oil, yummy yummy. So yeah, as far as I can see, I would give the Shift phone half a star, and the LG V20 1 star. It's sadly the Shift phone is not a replacement for the LG phone. Sadly, so sad. The LG V20, the one that I have here. I just need to set it up totally, and I'll not root it. I'll just, and it has its issue. It's 5 years old and all that. It has its issues for sure. It's not, but yeah, much less than I have had. I think the Shift phone is like 4 or 6 times the speed of this one. I think it's 4 times at least. I think in regards of stats, in regards of benchmarking things and all that. So that's a good amount, but in regards and just try to take a break from everything, or you're sitting and listening to something and just need something brainless to do, while you're listening to something. But yeah, I had a racing game, top-down racing game that I tried for the LG V20, so that might be one of the reasons why it's, when you install it, that it's not working that good on the LG V20, because it's just not fast enough for it. But you can run it. You can still run the game and play the game if you have to 6 AIs. That was pretty bad. But you started having, or maybe it was, what was he? Yeah, I think it was, you started out with, I think 4, maybe 3 AIs. I can't remember. I think it was 4 AIs in regards of cars against. and then when you get further into the game, it goes up to 6 cars. Very, 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 um, problematic. It's not so. In a lacking of words, it's lacking, but lacking usually is in regards of internet lag, right? It's not lacking in that sense. It's the graphic card that cannot follow along. The smoothness is, there must be another word. It can run the game in the highest setting, whereas the LG can't pretty much nearly don't run it at the lowest settings, at least when you have 6 cars, Um, but it can run it, when it's only 4 AIs in the lab, but the frames are just frames per second. Yeah, that must be the thing. And the frames per second just it just dips. And the Shift 6MQ has huge amount of power in regards of that. So compared to the, of course the LG V20 is like 5 years older, but it was a flagship, so down on 5%, so that means it's, closed down the light, which is again one of these annoying things. But again, if you have a bigger battery in the mobile, it happens less, and thereby it's less of an issue. Then it's less often and you get less annoyed, and it's just a win-win situation. And it also feels pretty good to hold as well, actually better than the standard cover as well, although now I do have a plastic cover that also fits the standard batteries, but I didn't have that beforehand. And the standard back cover, the metal and all that is not as good as the plastic. So you 100 milliamps battery and milliamps hour battery, and yeah, not too big, not too heavy, perfect size, 6,400 milli. Pinephone, I would probably be pretty harsh on the Pinephone as well. I don't know, but like the Shift 6M and oops. Let's see here. And there we go. So this should actually make the connection better, and it is. But I've been running for 2 hours, so hopefully it hasn't done too much of hopefully the sound has been there. So in regards to the Pinephone, it's, I'm probably going to be rough on that as well. But it has root out of the package, and that's absolutely a thumbs up for that, right? And I would be concerned about the speaker. In regards to the cameras, as long as they're good enough to use, then it would be lower than the LG V20. So I don't know. It would be interesting to try out and see the cameras. Who knows? They might actually be better than the LG V20, or they might be worse. At least I know that the LG V20 doesn't seem to be that good in the dark. Although the Shift 6MQ also had problems in regards of some colorization in regards of in night mode and so forward. So oh, there's someone looking at YouTube. I don't know. I haven't seen the chat. Is there any chat running? I don't know. Are you looking, Dennis? Tap on chat heads to see new chat heads. Where's chat heads? Yeah, well, I can see top chats. I don't know. Top chat, pop-up chat, maybe? Oh my, there we go. I didn't know I was, I know, usually I don't have anyone, usually I'm just speaking to myself, right? Hey. Well, hello there. Well, welcome. I don't know. How did you find my channel? Oh well. I don't know what is VOAFYE. I have no idea what that is. Oh yeah. Well, I guess I can. Well, yeah, it's a lead lamp that I have in the kitchen thing and all that. So it's something I found in the dumpster many years ago when that began to become popular. Uh, oh my. Yeah, I probably made a 2 hour video where it just lags. Hey, you wanna call up? I can stop the video and you can call me up if you have time. You there? You there? I don't see you there. I don't see much. You're not responding. There we go. No. Well, I don't see you answering. Oh, there you are. Okay. It should be. Uh-oh. That's my. Oh, oops. That's my image. I actually took that today. I don't know if I can. No, that's probably going to make it smaller. Yeah. It's going to be smaller on the. That's my Jewish, clothing at the moment with my silver paper hat and my Bible. Yeah, well, anyway. The world has gone nuts, so totally crazy. Oh, let's get back to the camera. Oops, that's not the camera. That's another picture of me in my Jew suit. Oh, let's see here where it is. Oh, yeah, there we go. Where are we? I don't know. Oh, there we go. There we go. Anyway, do you have time for a phone call? I'll just drop this, It's sad, I've been recording for 2 hours and it's probably been lagging for 2 hours. I forgot to put it on 4G, I know when you're on 3G it has problems in regards of uploading. Too bad. 2 hours of wasted, oh, bad. Okay, yeah, okay. You have my phone number or something like that? You can always call me up if you just, if you have the phone number. I think you have my phone number. Anyway. Oh, my brain. Anyway, so that's pretty wasted, So I've been speaking about these different phones, and then of course if half of it is lacking, then of course it's not worth much, I guess. I could make a concentrated writing on all these things, I guess. Oh, I have something blinking. Oh, that's the old screen. But yeah, the Pinephone looks the Pinephone Pro looks to be an interesting thing for sure. But again, I don't know how many stars I would give it, right? The LG V20 1 star out of 10, which still I would put as the best mobile out there. The Shift 6MQ I would get half a star, and I think that actually is generous, actually, when thinking about how expensive it is, But yeah, it has the 3 essentials, so I'll give it that, That's absolutely. And then of course every other mobile out there that doesn't have the 3 essentials, 0 stars, Just down the trash, Of course that could maybe be an exception in regards of a specific feature. I'm thinking like that's a work phone that would have been interesting, but still, it's still bullshit that you can't change the battery. But it has a larger battery in it as a work phone, as far as I recall. So that could have been an interesting thing, and it has a specific feature that I would, in regards of measuring the the air pollution, would be a very interesting thing to have. Also, in regards of fungal things and all that. In any case, But that's a kind of an exception, really, because it has this unique feature that would be very interesting, and I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, that's a work phone. Again, bigger battery as far as I recall, Android 8, but that's not. That's also on the last remnant of production. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, did the mobile stop? Oh no, the camera stopped, at least for now. I wonder if the sound is still working. Let's see if the sound is still working. Yep, the sound does still. Well, that's a thing that the LG V20 can do sometimes when it cannot follow along. It can stall, and sometimes it picks up again. Another thing you can do is go out of the application and inside the application again. This is yeah, there we go. But this, that's sometimes it's happening in regards to that. So, oh, where was the? I'm not even sure where the chat went. I guess the chat window went somewhere. Whatever. Oh well, where is it? Shift. Do 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 do.